Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to The Hidden Truth. I'm Priest Kazakia. With me today, I have priest and teacher, Dahawan Mayam.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
And priest and reader, Lachamaya Allah.
Shalom, Israel.
Okay, and once again, brothers and sisters, our show is on every Tuesdays, okay, local here in Houston, Texas. We are in Houston, Texas. You brothers and sisters are welcome to join us for classes. We have classes Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We have Sabbath morning classes. Please come and join us. And the name of our school is ISBHPK, which is the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, okay? And we are on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube at ISBHPK. Check out our old shows. We have a lot of information. Now, we go into depth in a lot of these topics and points, more in depth in class.
Right.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about the angelic ministry, right?
Right.
And we're going to touch on it. But, you know, if you want more of this, come to class. Because an hour is not going to, it's just going to touch around these points.
Right. So it's hard to pack a lot in, and especially on a topic like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scriptures, you know, that are going to describe what the angels are going to look like, sound like, how they're going to be, and things like that. So we're just kind of giving like a broad perspective on those.
Okay.
Right.
So, you know, really what point are we going to attack dealing with the angels right now?
The main thing is to dispel the myth, you know, that's been out there already. And, you know, we got the images. They say a picture says 1,000 words.
Right.
And, you know, you get the images and you got the little butt-naked babies, the little butt-naked white babies that shoot you with arrows and make you fall in love with everything, you know.
Right. They use those on Valentine's Day a lot. Right.
Yeah, or you know, or of course, you know, every angel being the white man, you know, with the blonde hair and the blue eyes, and that's the only images you really get. And it's only till recently you start getting the, you know, more dark-skinned ones and stuff like that. But really, they just blackwash the white ones. You know?
Right.
So, you know, what we're going to do is dispel the myths that they're not just all peaceful, loving creatures of Jesus that come down and pet you and things like that.
Right. The service of these angels.
Right. Then we're going to go through their actual work, what they do.
Got you.
Right. So 2 Peter 2:11 is where we're going to start. Because, like I said, we do this for all our shows. We want to dispel the myth first. We want to knock that myth first out of the park and show you the truth behind what you've always been believing in. People always been believing in angels. If you believed in the Bible, you believed in angels.
Right.
You believed in Christ. You believed in that image. You get that certain image. And we got to break that down out of people's brain, that image that's been put there.
Right.
All right.
Right. And this is, once again, very good because it's going to show us, like, and we're touching on this same topic in class. But when you go through the angels, you start to really understand what the Most High revealed to us as opposed to what you're looking for.
Right.
You know, this is one thing I like about this class is you start to see in the Bible what the Most High tells us.
Right.
And then you start to see what every other book starts to tell you about angels.
Right.
You know, which brings confusion.
Yeah, because that's what I get tired of is every time you turn the TV on, you know, you get the History Channel's view of what angels, what Christ, what everybody in the Bible look like, and it's always the same image, some British white man, some British, you know what I mean? So everybody's British, everybody's a certain look.
Right.
And the thing is the scriptures don't describe the angels this way. They don't describe the angels' appearance this way, and they don't describe their actions.
Right.
You know what I mean? As just being these creatures that just hover down and play the harp for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, could I get 1 Maccabees 3, verse 48 before you go into that then? Yeah. Really quick, because, you know, and we touched on it a little bit when we went over the chariots.
Right.
The chariots of the Most High. But, you know, just giving, because I know we're not going to really go into a class on what color they are, but just really quick, you know, Romans 1:25 really quick, and then we'll go to 1 Maccabees 3, verse 48. Just on this point of what you're saying, like how they look. Because we're going more in detail on what they're doing, right?
Right.
Okay, so just to touch on how they look really quick and their image or visage or facial appearance.
Right.
Romans 1:25.
Romans chapter 1 and verse 25.
Right.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie.
So who put these false images up of the angels?
Right.
Who put these false images of them being little babies with bows and arrows?
Right.
That's the question. Who put this falsehood up? Go ahead.
and worship and serve the creature.
Now, when we look at any angelic power, most of all Christ, right? Above all,
Right.
right? They change every image, whether it be Christ, the angels, and they even had put an image to the Creator on the 16th chapel, right?
Right, yeah.
Go ahead.
And serve the creature more than the creator.
Right, and that's what they're doing now, because they know the images are going to get man to now serve those creatures.
Right.
And now we're looking to these creatures. When you look at these false images are the creatures that now you look up to.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, they put the angels are described as being angels of light. So, you know, you consider them good, wise, everything like that.
Right.
So when you see that white man with the blonde hair, blue eyes,
Right.
you know what I mean, supposedly descending out of the clouds, now every white man you see is this angel of light.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? And that's what they want us to associate every time we see them.
Right, right.
You said.
You know, and man, I hope this takes us right into the topic, but I've always said this, that, you know, when you look at the people or these characters in movies, okay, that they're portraying, all of our children are looking up to Iron Man, Superman, Batman.
Right.
What other character? Daredevil, Flash. Every character is Caucasian. Thor. Now, when they look up to these characters and they say, wow, I want to be powerful, I want to be a superhero, they're looking up to the so-called white man as their power.
Yeah.
Their power.
Yeah.
Now, that's on a low level. That's on a cartoonish level. Look at what they did to the angels and the Creator and the Son.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is what the scripture's saying. Who did this? Well, if we look around, we know who did it. We know who did it because look at those characters. They're Caucasian, right?
Right, right.
Go ahead.
And serve the creature more than the creator.
Go ahead.
Who is blessed forever. Amen.
Right, right. So we serve these creatures more than, and they'll serve those images
Right.
more than the truth that's in the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So real quick, 1 Maccabees 3, verse 48. Well, where did these images come from? You know, Paul stated the question, who changed the truth of God into a lie? Well, where did these false images come from, or false visage or facial appearance of these angels come from?
Right,
1 Maccabees 3:48, real quick.
1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48.
Go ahead.
And laid open the book of the law.
Right, so when the Greeks came in, we're not going to go read the whole chapter. When the Greeks came in and overthrew the temple and overthrew the Israelites, they laid open our books.
Right.
They laid open the Ezekiel when
Right.
it goes into the angels. They laid open Zechariah when it speaks of a woman angel.
Right.
When they opened the books of the laws, go ahead.
Wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So now we show, look at the images and the icons of the angels and what was really painted.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what they worship out there in, you know what I mean, Rome and Italy, and what they get as opposed to what America gets.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing, you know, without like going directly like we break down Christ, you
Right,
know,
right.
woolly hair, white woolly hair,
Right,
everything
right,
like that. We know that God, the Most High, created all man in His image. You know what I mean?
Right.
He created a lot of those creatures in His image, and the angels were a part of Him. So
Right.
the image we get in the scriptures of the Most High, we get of Christ, that's what the angel's going to look like, without having to go into,
Right.
you know what I mean, every
Absolutely.
scripture about that like we do with Christ.
Right.
But you know, that's excellent that we go in here, because that way the people can see that. Yeah, you've been misconceived about the angels.
Right.
They give you this peaceful angel. You know what I mean? Sometimes they give you the one with the sword, and it's all same guy,
Right.
with white flowing hair, you know, white blonde hair.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? All this stuff. But the thing is they always want to show you them as peaceful and things like this.
Right.
The angels are warriors, and they were destructive. They were destructive forces created by the Most High.
Right.
And constructive.
You know what? I was talking to at the street speaking last weekend, a Christian. And, you know, it's a lot of these Christians that disannul and make it seem like, well, that doesn't really matter.
Right, right.
You know, it doesn't matter. But really, images, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So if these images are constantly being bombarded from my youth all the way up, now I'm thinking that Jesus is just LOVE. He's not a warrior. Anything surrounding him is not warrior-like. He's not coming back for war. It's going to be peace and flowers.
Right,
Like
right.
a hippie.
Yeah, like a hippie. So, and this is what is going on with these images.
Right.
And it changed the truth of God into a lie.
Yeah, some of these cats gonna be coming back thinking they can hug Christ.
Right, right.
They're gonna be thinking they can play with the angels and everything, and
Right.
they're gonna get split in half because these cats was great. Like the scripture tell you, we're gonna go there, but they were greater in power and might.
Yeah.
They didn't play like that.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of men of the Most High, mighty men, fell on their face before the angels
Right.
because of out of fear.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And the image you get is not a fearful image.
Nah.
You know what I mean? It's somebody you get to talk to and play with and everything like
Right.
that. And that's not what the angels, how they appeared when they came.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that just to
Yeah, yeah.
show that these images we have today,
Right, right.
they sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Exactly.
So when the Greeks came in, now all the images, all the characters of the Bible look Greek.
Right, more feminine, more sexual.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some of them aren't wearing any clothes. You
Right.
know what I mean? Of course, little boys, no clothes. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
That was the homosexuality the Greeks wanted to put in there.
Right,
And
right.
that's an insult, because these are our brethren.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of these angels, they describe themselves as being our brethren.
Yeah.
That we're not to worship them and things. But let's go into these.
Yeah.
2 Peter chapter 2 verse 11, and let's get the description of these angels, how they are.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 11. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might.
Right. So you think of your most powerful man, your most mighty looking man on earth right now.
Right, right.
And I mean, you take your Michael Clark Duncans, or you take your
The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock,
Right.
or the guy from Troy, Boagrius, right?
Boagrius.
Yeah, you take your mightiest looking men, and now these angels are greater in power and might than your mightiest men,
Wow.
your
Right.
mightiest human beings.
Right.
You know, so we're thinking of them. We're not thinking of these people as just tall guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exceptionally sexy looking guys. No, these are beastly warrior creatures. You know what I mean?
Right.
But read that again.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 11. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might,
Go ahead.
bring not railing accusations against them before the Lord.
And when you would read that chapter, you know, it's talking about how they don't accuse us of stuff. They don't sit there just blaspheming, not blaspheming, but talking about us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And accusing us of things all day.
Right,
That's Satan's job. But what it's to show you is that these angels are greater in power and might than we ever thought possible, than we thought was imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the acts that they do is resonating now. You know, you're seeing these, what people think is, it's just an earthquake.
Right.
Oh, it's just a sinkhole. No, that was an angel that did that.
Right,
You know what I mean? when it starts hailing and you're getting hailstones the size of cars.
Those are angels.
That's a spirit. That's an angel that is controlling that whole incident.
Wow, that's powerful. You know what? Because through the ignorance of the Native Americans slipping away from this,
Right.
They use words like the spirits, and because they're connected, but remember they don't. We've all left the truth.
Right.
But they use the words like the spirit, the wind spirit. They know that those are angels.
Right.
Those are spirits. You know what I mean? That control these things.
And the problem is like what happened with us as dealing with the heathens is we started worshiping those for the power that they had instead of worshiping the Creator, like we just read in Romans.
Right.
All of a sudden it was the sun god, the wind god, and the rain god. No, there's only one God, and He sends those spirits.
There you go.
And that's what we're dealing with, is breaking down. Now we're not worshiping the wind, the rain, the moon, the stars. You know what I mean? That's Egyptology. That's all these nations we end up getting involved with.
Right.
We're gonna find out, are these beings, are they something that we worshipped, or they worked with us? They helped us.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Or fought for us, and the Most High sent them with us.
Absolutely.
See that?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
But let's go there. Let's go from there. Go to Revelation chapter 7.
Yeah.
And we're going to start at verse 1 because, again, breaking down the myth. We get the butt-naked babies out of your head. Get the little cupids out of your head, the hearts and all this stuff like that. Get that out of your head, because this is not what Christ is going to be coming with.
Right.
When he comes with the legions of angels, when he comes with the 10,000s of his saints.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Revelation 7:1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth.
Right, so this is John the Revelator. He's describing that he's seeing these 4 angels. He's seeing them on the 4 corners, standing on the 4 corners of the earth, right? And what are they doing?
Holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Right, and this is representing destruction. Those 4 winds representing the destruction that these angels are holding on to, waiting to unleash it on the entire earth.
Right,
waiting
right.
to unleash it, especially on this wicked kingdom that we're in. All right, go ahead.
That the wind should not blow on the earth,
Right.
nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Right, we'll see that that represents a destruction as he keeps reading on. But they're holding this back by the word of the Most High. These angels are holding that back, and they're waiting to unleash that. And they're going to joy in that as we go into the next one.
Right, right. You know, it's like you just said, look at the power and the might of these beings that the Creator controls.
Right, right.
Now, these beings are under Christ.
Right.
They're under the Most High.
Right, right. So
You know
you
what I
want to
mean?
know who's sending them? It's your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
There you go.
It's, who you thought was just sitting down holding a lamb and petting little kids' heads.
It's like we just read. They worship and serve the creature more than the Creator.
Right.
And you have people getting caught up into worshiping the angels
Right.
instead of Christ, instead of the Most High.
Right, right.
You know, so hopefully with this topic, showing that the job of the angels, we can also humble brothers and sisters understand that stop seeking to angels,
Right, right.
look for Christ.
Exactly. You know what I mean? No more St. Michael's and your Catholicism.
Right.
They like to do that. And you're praying to the angel Gabriel and Michael and Raphael.
Nah,
you're
man.
praying to all the
Nah.
archangels. Read on.
Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
So these angels, they're not soft-spoken. They're not timid. They're not approachable. They speak with a loud voice, a thundering, booming voice across the sky. Go ahead.
Verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth,
So those winds were representing hurt and destruction and death that they're holding back. And he's saying, hurt not the earth. Go ahead.
neither the sea, nor the trees.
And this is Christ giving that command. That angel that's giving this command is
Yeah.
Christ. He's saying, don't hurt the earth, the sea, or the trees. Go ahead.
Till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Y'all see that? So this is, again, these angels are holding back a lot of death and destruction that you're reading about in Revelations.
Now, though,
Right.
another thing I was talking about with this so-called Christian was that this is now. You know what I mean? You're talking about the last times. You're talking about the awakening.
Right,
The
right.
time where the Most High is awakening the children of Israel. These 144,000, those angels is holding back the destruction now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and letting it go now because you
Right.
see a lot of that.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, like you see the seals are being opened up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's another show.
Whenever y'all see them monsoons and you see them typhoons and things like this, hundreds of thousands killed, a dude picked up by a tornado and thrown through a tree and all that stuff like that, those are angels that are doing that. And
Right.
they love it. They love their job. And we're going to get that in Ecclesiasticus.
39, yeah.
Chapter 39, verse 28. And this is in the Apocrypha. And it gives you more into the nature of them, what these spirits are sent out to do. Because they're right, they are spirits. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And if you got that in Psalms,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
But they are spirits. You know, the Native Americans do got that part right. They're just not they're not the ones you worship. They're not the great spirit, if you will.
Right, right.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
And these are angelic beings. These spirits that are created for vengeance are angelic beings. They're not created for hearts and flowers. They're not created for I love you cards, and they're not created to come down and smell like cookies for you. Like you got the
Right.
movie back in the day, Michael. They did, you know what I mean? John Travolta was
Right.
yeah. So these angels are not those that are coming down to, check out our video we did on the Giants and Nephilim. You know what I
Right.
mean? These are not angels that came down and they just smooth talk some women and start popping giants into them and everything like that. We already dispelled that myth.
Right.
So these angels, they're created for vengeance. I want
Right.
you to read that again.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
Right. So you women ain't gonna be writing, Sleepless in Seattle letters to them and stuff like that. They're gonna be coming out to kill and destroy, and by the orders of Christ. Go ahead.
Which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
They're happy.
In their fury.
They're joyous.
In their fury.
They're angry. They're angry for all the destruction they've been watching going on by the inhabitants of this earth. All right?
Right, right.
And they're angry with Christ. Go ahead.
Lay on sore strokes. In the time of desolation, they pour out their fierce and...
He said in the time of destruction, they pour out their force.
Their
Right.
force, Salakia. And appease the wrath of him that made them.
See, they appease the wrath. Christ is so angry. The Most High is so angry with the inhabitants of this earth that when he sends those angels, the things they do to you make him feel good.
Right.
It's
Wow.
therapy. It's therapeutic for the Most High to watch them do their job. When they take your house and throw it all the way into the sea somewhere from the middle, the middle of the country,
Yeah.
and they throw your house into the sea, he loves that. He delights in that. He said, "I will laugh at your calamity."
Wow.
And he sends those angels to create that calamity.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 29. Fire and hell and famine.
What are these angels?
Fire and hell.
So it's not just natural disasters.
Right, right.
Get that out of your brain right now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not natural disasters. These are angels that are coming as fire. That fire that you can't control and the fire department can't put out, and they douse it with water
Yeah,
and
it
dust.
jumps.
Yeah.
Or it jumps over houses. It
Yeah.
jumps on another house.
Right.
Yeah.
To the freeway.
Right.
Yeah.
Read on.
Fire and hell and famine.
And famine, starvation. The poor Africans, why would a loving God do this? God is doing that. He's sending those down there to make sure they don't eat. He's sending them into places like China, make sure they don't eat.
Yeah.
He sent them on us before and made sure we didn't eat.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
These are angels that do this. And it said it again, they appease the wrath of him that sent them.
Right.
They're making him happy to have you starving to death.
Right. And what we got to understand is its beautiful point is that this is appeasing the will of the Most High.
Right.
But it's how the Most High has everything ran in the spiritual realm.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because remember, these are the armies of heaven.
Right.
These are the armies that Christ, you got that, right? These are the armies that Christ had, that the Most High set up for Christ. You know what I mean? And when you deal with army, you deal with rank.
Right.
You deal with position.
Right.
You deal with order. And that's what the Most High has, order, position, rank, and the fourth, what we call the fourth dimension, the spiritual realm. You know what I mean? And these angels go out to follow the orders of the Most High.
Exactly.
Right?
When they called Christ the captain of the host, what did you think he meant?
There you go.
What host did you think he meant? He's not talking about the people that lead you into the restaurant. He's talking about the captain of the host, the captain of armies. This is Christ is a general, man. He's a commander in chief. And you thinking of him as just this little baby holding, lamb petting deity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, could I just touch on that? Revelation 19.
Yeah.
You got that one already? Revelations 19 and 11, and it says here, "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness do he judge and make war.
Right.
His eyes was a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture, dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies, verse 14, and the armies which were in heaven followed him."
Right.
You know, just showing that what we're dealing with is a higher level of process than we think. People don't look at things like that. They don't look at armies. No, they're little Jesus angels just coming to help you. No, this is armies. There's rank. There's order.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got Michael. You got Gabriel. You got Raphael.
Right.
You got these these angels are the top high echelon, and they give order to the other angels.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And you got to see it. They create a lot of death and destruction for the
Right.
Most High.
Right.
And like you watch these videos, and you know, hopefully we can get some of those. But you know, you see the woman and the kid, and they're on the other side of the street, and the car is coming down here, and then
Right.
just hits something, flips over, and smashes them. And
Yeah.
you gotta wonder, like, that looked controlled. That looked
Right,
like
right.
some Hollywood type of stuff. The Most High does that. He sends those spirits that were created for vengeance.
Yeah.
And they appease his wrath against whoever. So when that man come home and he find out a whole tanker truck landed on his family, well, what were you doing, man? Why did the Most High have so much wrath and indignation against you to take your family out like that?
Job 4, verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent. And or where were the righteous cut off?
Exactly.
Now we're dealing with Job. We're dealing with a man that his family was killed. His house is burnt up, overthrown. You know what I mean? And when you go back to the story,
Yeah.
who did Most High give power to do that?
Right. Satan. Angels.
That one of the angels,
Right.
right? That his job is to wreak that havoc.
Yeah. That's the thing is, and in his case, you know, you look at that and it's like, okay, Job didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
But what was his family doing while he was setting up sacrifices?
Right.
They was sitting over eating and drinking and being merry.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the first thing that happened when he started going through it. His woman came up, cursed the Most High, and died.
Right.
Oh, that's why your family got wiped out.
Right.
They weren't just innocent sitting there and
Right.
I'm going to kill your family to test you. No, I'm going to kill your family because they're wicked and it's going to test you.
Right.
Two birds with one stone. And that's how the angels work, man. There's always a reason because the Most High sent them.
Right.
Right? Where you at?
Verse 29, Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 29. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
All these were created to get back at you. All these were created. These are the things. This is what you're dealing with when you decide, screw the Most High, screw Christ. You know, when you want to shoot up the Bible with an AK-47. This is the realm you're stepping into. This is what you're dealing with. When you start what they did in Detroit a little while back, you know, we're gonna jack up the price of water. And you know, when they were going through it, they jacked up the price of water, $15 for a case of $5 water.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And what happened? He sent that flood. Okay, you want to hold back the water? You're gonna get too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how he operates. He sends the angels to do these things.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Verse 30.
Go ahead.
Teeth of wild beasts.
When you see somebody get mauled by a damn lion, a tiger, a bear, when you see these things happen, those are angels that go into that animal and rip those people apart.
Right. We got to remember, let's go back to the Gospels.
Right.
When you read about these spirits, you know what I mean? And we know those were negative spirits that were tearing and ripping.
Right.
Well, some of the men and the women. I was just reading in Luke. I was reading in Luke today about Mary Magdalene. In Luke, it tells you, it says she had 7 demons on her. It tells you, you know what I mean? So these spirits that beyond people, man.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you know, there's levels to how they overcome you and kill you, hurt you, or harm you.
Right.
But what we're going over right now is showing that who's the creator, who's controlling all this? The Most High.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they can't just jump into you unless that's his will. You know,
Yeah.
they can't just take over.
Or you invite them. You're doing the Ouija board or the
Seance.
you know, the seances.
What's the Charlie thing they doing now? Spinning the pencil on top?
Oh yeah. They're doing that stupidity. Yeah.
Like you calling that stuff to you. You playing in a realm you don't understand.
Right.
You can't even understand fire and hell and these things. You try to call an actual demon into your room.
Right.
A dead person from a long time ago. You trying to call them into your body. Like you can't even understand these things. You think you're gonna control these demons?
Yeah.
They're gonna run rampant through your house, man. And then when they get it's kind of like remember, they're like teeth of wild beasts, right?
Yeah.
A wild beast, if he bites you, he get that taste of blood in his mouth.
Yeah.
He's gonna seek that blood wherever he can get it. And these angels, some of these angels work like that, man. They know about your bloodline.
Yeah.
You go into that witchcraft. A lot of people, why am I getting these weird visions, or I'm getting tormented by this demon? Well, who played with witchcraft in your family?
Right. Who's playing with those spirits?
My grandma did used to do Santeria. Oh, my grandma did used to be a voodoo witch. You know,
Right.
it's like, okay, well, she brought that in your bloodline. And
Right.
They stuck with that.
Right.
They watched that. But let's go into it.
You know what?
Right.
Well, as you're going over it, we got to show the people. We got negative spirits. We got wicked spirits. And you know that that do those things.
Right.
And then you got the righteous angels.
Right.
You understand? So right now we're talking about those ones that can jump on you and just be just demons.
Right, right.
And then you got the ones that fight against the demons and stand up for the righteous.
Exactly.
Right? So there's two levels of this. I don't know if we're going to be able to go over all of it, but we're right now just touching on those spirits that the Most High used to call to say, well, listen, which one we going to send out
Right.
to get these guys?
Exactly. So yeah, and when you do it, you got to know when you see these things, the fire, the hail, the teeth of wild beasts, these things, who are we going to pray to? We're going to pray to the angel of the side? No, we're going to pray to Christ to command that angel, just like he commanded those four.
Right.
And said, hold back that destruction.
Right.
You know what I mean? You getting brown recluse spider bites and, you know what I mean, stuff like that. These are angels that come into that creature and bite the hell out of you and do these things. Yeah, it's not like, oh, I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. My house, I had 2 brown recluses walk through the house, man.
Wow.
And recluse means they hide. You know what I mean? They hide in your clothes and stuff. They bite you and they run off. You don't even find them. These things was walking right across the middle of the floor so I could see them and smash them. You know what I mean? Before they end up in my kids' clothes or my clothes or something like that. You know what I mean? So the Most High, he'd know. He got his angels watching out for you too. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he got them demons that'll come and get your ass too. Read on real quick.
Serpents and the sword.
Right, so he said the scorpions, serpents, the sword. Go ahead.
Punishing the wicked.
Punishing the wicked. Read.
To destruction.
To destruction. Why did Mike Brown have to die? Why did Trayvon Martin have to go? Well, there's spirits sent out for vengeance on what his family been doing or what he been doing.
Whoever perished being innocent.
There you go. See that? So these angels are sent for those things. Go ahead.
They shall rejoice in his commandments.
They do it grudgingly.
They shall rejoice in his commandments.
They drag ass when it's time to work.
They shall rejoice in his commandments.
They're happy to get on you. They're happy to send a wild beast to bite you up. They're happy to send a tornado to destroy your whole block. They're happy about this. They rejoice in his commandments.
Right, and but let me say this again. Could we go to the one the evil spirits?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what you're touching on. You're touching on these evil spirits.
Right.
You got to finish it? Yeah.
And they shall be ready upon earth.
They're ready upon earth. Go ahead.
When need is.
Right. So they're not just waiting in the heavens. They already here. As soon as you mess up, they got you. You know what I mean?
Right.
They waiting for you to decide that you're gonna be faithless or you're gonna be blasphemous against the Most High. And as soon as you do it, they go off of that command. Like
you know what?
Pit bull let off the leash.
Luckily, the Most High is long-suffering, man. The Most High is long-suffering because if only our people really knew what power we're dealing with.
Right.
Remember, it says he's the God of spirits. You know what I mean? He controls all these angels. Yeah.
Read on.
And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
Right. They're gonna be going against his word. When it comes time, okay, destroy America, they destroy California, destroy New York, whatever they call out, whatever the Most High call out, whatever Christ call out, they're not going to transgress his word. They're not going to say, oh, no, we can't do that.
Right.
They're not those angels that you see on the movies. And no, I can't kill those people, man. That's all. You know what I mean? They just stop and leave.
Right.
That's not what they're going to do. They're not going to transgress his word.
You can't bribe the death angel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let me get this one. This is right with what you're saying, and this is why we have to pay attention what spirits we're entertaining. This is Hebrews 13, verse 1. Let brotherly love continue. Be not forget to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Check that out. I'm going to read verse 1 again. Let brotherly love continue. See?
Yeah.
He's telling you brotherly love because, you know, when you deal with the righteous angels, those are our brothers. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for some have entertained angels unawares. So how do we conduct ourselves around people?
Right.
You know what I mean? The Most High has all these entities and powers around us. It's a small thing for an angel to reveal himself physically as a physical person.
Right.
You don't know how these spirits are going to come and reveal themselves.
Right.
So, you know, whether they stand up for you, you know what I mean? Or whether they tell you something wise not to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And tell you, don't make this move, don't do that.
God.
And you over there like, you know what? You the devil. I'm not going to listen to you. Or, you know what I mean? You got to know this is a warning.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't step into that arena.
Yeah, and it's possible. You know, all those things are possible. It says in Romans 8:35, what shall separate us from the love of the Most High?
Right.
And when you go down through 38, it even brings up about the angels.
Right.
And angels should try to persuade you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or are you going to leave the love of the Most High?
Right.
Because of what that angel has spoken to you about?
Right. Once again, crushing that ideal that now we supposed to look more into the angels.
Right, right.
And not understanding this is all really the power of the Most High.
Exactly.
Right. Yes, sir.
Was that the end of that?
Yeah, that's the end of that one.
All right, let's go over to St. John chapter 5 and verse 37. There's another thing that we got to dispel. You have not heard the voice of the Most High.
Right.
Nobody, you didn't talk to God. God didn't talk to you. All that holy roly Christian stuff that you like to do. And Jesus talked to me last night and he told me this about you and all that. No, he didn't. The Most High don't talk to you like that.
Right.
He don't talk to you with his voice. You ain't heard the Most High's voice and you ain't seen the Most High ever. And the Bible tells you this.
Right.
So for you so-called Christians, I'll wait till God tell me. You know what I mean? Like we try to tell you that just as simple as the color of Christ. And the color doesn't matter. Jesus didn't tell me that. You're like, okay, God didn't. I'll wait till God reveals that to me.
Well, listen, remember what he told the rich man. He said, let me go back.
Right.
Let me go back and tell my brothers. He said, no, he got Lazarus. I mean, he got the prophets.
Right. They
He got Moses and the prophets. And Moses wasn't alive. He's saying, look, you got the scriptures right here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So there ain't no going back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
First John chapter 5, verse 37. And the Father himself, which has sent me, has bore witness of me. Yea.
He said, and the Father himself, which has sent me, this is Christ speaking, he was sent by the Most High, by the Father. Go ahead.
Ye have neither heard his voice at any time,
You never heard his voice, ever. Go ahead.
nor seen his shape.
Nor seen his shape. And to validate that scripture again, we're going to go to 1 John 4 and 12.
Absolutely.
Never heard the
Absolutely.
Most High. Christ told you this. John is going to tell you this,
Yeah.
one of the apostles. You never heard the Most High's voice or seen his face ever. All right? And that's the thing. Y'all got to watch out that you thinking that when this angel drops his message to you, now you seeing him as a god. And that's what happened with the Romans. That's what happened with the Greeks. That's what happened with the Native Americans. They got to see and witness these angels against them or for them or whatever.
And they worship and serve the creature.
There you go.
More than the creator.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Wow.
1 John 4 and 12.
Yeah.
No man has seen God at any time.
No man, if you're a human being on this planet, you've never seen the Most High at any time. Go ahead.
If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfected in us.
Right, so that's right there just to show you the point that you have never seen the Most High at any time. You never heard his voice personally. All right? Only
To
Christ.
establish the point,
Right.
you've seen angels.
There you go.
You never seen the Most High, but you've seen his messengers.
Right. And that's what people do is they get things misconstrued and say, oh, see, it says the Lord said to him, right? No, the Lord said to him through an angel. And that we're going to clear that up real quick with the story of, I think it's Gideon we're dealing with here.
Okay.
Right. Judges chapter 6 and verse 12.
Right. Could I get that, throw in that Hebrews right with that? The 1:14? Hebrews 1 verse 13. Again. Are they not all ministering spirits set forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation?
Yeah.
You know, just right what you were saying, that these spirits, they're to do the will of the Most High.
Right.
They're ministering the will of the Most High.
Right.
If he wants that building took out, he can either send a thought in a crazy ass Muslim's head, and he come in and run in and blow it up,
Right.
or he could just send a thought in a crazy ass black, white person don't matter head, and then they can go in and shoot a plane into it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So these are, again, those spirits sent out for vengeance.
Right.
Right? Where are we at?
Judges chapter 6 and verse 12.
Right. And I want to bring this out just so you can see that instance when, this is what the Bible is showing you is that these are men talking to angels. They're not men talking to the Most High himself. All right, because that would make Christ a liar. That would make John a liar.
Right.
Right. So these men, that dealt with these angels, they would talk as the Most High, but they were not the Most High.
Right, right.
All right. Read that.
Judges 6 and 12.
And you're going to go through verse 16 real quick.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said unto him, the Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor.
Right. Now, this is Gideon. So the angel came to Gideon. He said, the Lord is with you, O mighty man of valor. And it tells you the angel of the Lord appeared unto him, right? Go ahead.
And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us?
Go ahead.
And where be all his miracles, which our father told us of, saying, did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt?
Go ahead.
But now the Lord has forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites.
Go ahead.
And the Lord looked upon him and said, go in this thy might.
Right. So right there, you're seeing it says the Lord looked upon him. Right. So we go into verse 15, but he said the Lord looked upon him. Now, the angel is the one that appeared to him, but now he's being referred to as the Lord looked upon him. See that?
Right, right.
Why? Because this angel is representing the Most High.
Right, right.
All right, go ahead.
And thou shalt save Israel from the hands of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee?
Go ahead.
And he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the last in my father's house.
The least in my father's house.
In my father's
I'll
house.
read verse 16. And the Lord said unto him, surely I will be with thee.
Right, now, was it the Lord or was it an angel?
Right, right.
See that?
Right.
Because the angel is representing the Lord.
Right.
He's representing the Most High.
And that's what we went over when we did the Ahaya class. It's like they don't understand that the angel was speaking for the Most High.
Right. I didn't want to go to all the times where you saw the word God.
Right.
It says Allahayim. Allahayim is judges, angels, or powers.
Right, right.
So a lot of times when you seen the word God in there, it was an angel speaking or Christ even. All right. But yeah, just to show y'all that that's the interpretation. That's how the Bible is showing you that a lot of times when you saw a man was talking to God, he was talking to an angel. Even when you're dealing with Moses in the burning bush.
There you go.
Moses was talking to an angel. Hebrews tells you that.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible clears itself up so that there's no confusion. But if you sitting there, oh, well, Moses talked to God, so I can talk to God too. You're going to raise yourself into a position that even the angels are scared to be in.
There you go.
There's a reason there's only 4 that minister around the Most High.
Right.
Or, you know, as we go in deeper, 7 of them. But there's only a certain amount because even when the voice was speaking on the mountaintop, the people couldn't. They were like, Moses, you go up there. We
right.
You know what I mean?
They feared,
We
man.
didn't want to hear that voice. But this is to dispel that myth, man. Give me Judges 13 and 6.
Yeah.
Because we got these too many of these images in our brain. We got too many misconceptions about the way the Bible has represented these beings and how the Most High is being represented to us.
Right.
So we want to hit these and just knock that out.
Right, I'll get it. Judges 13 and 6. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of the Most High.
See that? So a man of the Most High came to her. Now, when you read this story, an angel actually came to her.
Right,
But
right.
she called him a man of God. So they appear as what?
Men.
As men.
That's why he said, be not unaware. Watch how you deal because you can entertain angels and unawares.
There you go. And you got to watch, like, are you going to entertain them like Abraham did and sit them down and offer them food?
Right.
Or are you going to entertain them like the Sodomites and Gomorrites where they was trying to have sex with them for being so beautiful? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then get blinded and have your whole city destroyed. Right? Go ahead.
Right. It says, very terrible.
He said very terrible. So not very sexy. Not he was attractive. He was comely.
Right.
But this angel was very terrible. All right, go ahead.
But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name.
Right. She basically, I didn't want to conversate with him. She was afraid.
Right.
All right. 1 Chronicles 21 and 16.
You know, that's powerful because when you even go back to Mary,
Right.
you know, when you go back to Mary, when you go back to John the Baptist's father, when the angel came in, Gabriel came in, they wanted to know what type of salutation this was.
Right. Like,
They want to know, like, what's going on here.
Like, you coming in peace or you coming
Right.
to
You gotta
slice
slay
me in
me.
half? Exactly.
First Chronicles what?
21 verse 16.
First Chronicles 21 verse 16. And brothers and sisters, I'm going to say this. We go into this topic a little more depth in the class.
Right.
This is First Chronicles 21 verse 16 here. It says, and David lifted up his eyes.
This is David.
Right.
Killed 10,000s of men. He was Saul, if you know about Saul, he was head and shoulders above every Israelite.
Right, right.
And he put his armor on young David.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
Young
right.
kid David. And it fit him. You know what I mean? So we're dealing with David, a powerful, mighty warrior man that saw this angel.
Right. And David lifted up his eyes and saw the angel of the Lord stand between the earth and the heaven,
Whoa.
having a drawn sword in his hand.
He had a what?
Drawn sword in his
A
hand.
giant harp?
A drawn sword in his hand.
Hearts and candies?
A drawn sword in his hand.
Okay, so the angels, they armed. They're not playing with you. They're armed. These are armed messengers of the Most High. Go ahead.
Stretched out over Jerusalem, and then David and the elders of Israel, who were clothed in sackcloth, fell upon their faces.
See that? That's what kind of presence the angels have.
Right,
They
right.
don't have the presence that you just gonna sit there and ride bikes with them in the park. They have a presence about them to make you fall on your face, even if you're as strong as David.
Right, right.
Bend bows of steel in your hand and jump over walls.
Yeah, that's powerful.
All right. And then another one just on the appearance of the angels. We're going to go to 2 Corinthians 11 and 14.
Right, right. Yeah, that is powerful, man.
Yeah, because we want to get this, get these little soft, sexy images out of your brain of these angels, man. You are not, the Sodomites, they wanted to have sex with every damn thing. So when they want to have sex with the angels, that's no big problem. No big deal. But yeah, when they want to appear as men, they ain't going to appear as ugly as men. But when they come as angels, you definitely know because their faces are terrible.
Yeah.
They got fury on them. They got wrath. They do hard work.
Right.
Read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 14.
And then the ones you think should be ugly, they just red guys with pitchforks and tails and,
Right.
and goat hoofs and horns sticking out their head and everything. This is how they might appear. Go ahead.
Right, right.
And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
See that? So Satan, the worst of the deceiver, the evil deceiver, can come and he'll be beautiful. You know what I mean? He'll be the sexy one that you want to get with. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's there to what? To kill, steal, and destroy. And you letting him in based
To
off
deceive,
of looks.
yeah.
You know what I mean? The righteous ones you might keep out your house because they look so terrible.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you letting the wrong ones in. So again, we got to break the misconceptions. You know what I mean?
Wow. That brings a whole different edification to entertaining angels and unawares, because if you don't have the correct judgment of the scriptures,
Yeah.
and you're judging by sight,
Right.
and not by the word of the Most High,
Yep.
then you're going to deal with these individuals wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they could be giving you a message, or they could be getting you out of a situation.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty of times in my life it's been the same thing. It's like
Yeah.
somebody tell you don't do this, or you get that voice and don't go over here, and you just avoided all kinds of death, all kinds of destruction, all kinds of getting
Yep.
shot up, whatever.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go from there to Job chapter 4 and verse 18, because another characteristics of these angels is they do mess up. Not like us. They don't, it's not an emotional trip and I want to rebel and I feel like I should take over and things like that. They mess up on a whole different level. They mess up on a level not like, you forget your keys, lock them in the car. They don't
Right.
They don't make those kind of mistakes. They make mistakes where, you know what I mean?
Right, but it's once again putting the difference between the righteous angels
Right.
and the ones that are wicked or demons, you want to call them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whatever word you want to put to it,
Yeah.
the Most High works on both sides.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Right.
Job chapter 4 and verse 18. Behold, he put no trust in his servants,
Go ahead.
and his angels he charged with folly.
Right. So at a certain point in time, you got angels that were charged with foolishness. That's how wise the Most High is. That's the wisdom you're dealing with when you deal with the Most High. That even the angels, he can see something foolish in them.
Well,
Check and correct that.
well, you know what's powerful is, I don't want to go too deep, but
Right.
he's speaking of the head. We just read it. Even Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Right.
Well, where did the foolishness come from? Well, through his pride, he went and deceived Eve.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the folly. You being simple as hell and
Right.
not following the order.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what put him in that position of being the deceiver, the adversary, the enemy.
Right. That's
Like I said, without going
that was gonna take me off in this one. Yeah. Go from there to 2 Peter 2 and 4. And just so we can see these, these little attributes and characteristics, that not all the angels stayed perfect. Not all the angels were, stayed on point and everything. That you do see these characteristics, some that you see in men.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they were, when you think about it, those attributes were passed. Some of those attributes were passed to us from them. We learned that from that action.
Right.
Where do we get the pride from? It's the beginning of sin. It's the original one.
Right.
It came from that angel of light.
Right. Right. Calm.
Go ahead.
Going
2
deep
Peter
now.
chapter 2, verse 4. For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment.
Right, and you got to consider this. There's certain places that are meant for angels to be tormented in.
Right.
And Christ, I think I brought this up in the other show, but Christ brought that up with the in a parable. He said, "You're going to be cast into outer darkness, reserved for the devil and his angels."
Right.
So there's a place of torment reserved for angels to be tormented.
Right. For Satan, at his last end,
Right.
he's going to be put there.
Yeah, and then there will be men, there will be people, because of their wickedness, that will be right there along with him.
But let me say this on that. We're dealing on a kind of the same plane, because remember, he's the follower of spirit. So
Right.
even though when we shed this,
Right.
as we go into showing that, like you said, when these men, John the Revelator, bowed to the angel, he said, "Get up, I'm of your fellow brethren." So what we're dealing with is angels that, we're dealing with spirits is what I'm saying. We're dealing with spirits, so it don't matter, if we're here now.
Right.
But we know that if this body is dissolved, our spiritual house is there. So, they're just in their spiritual house, and when they come in this place, they get in the physical, the flesh.
Right.
Just like Melchizedek, like you said, the ones that came to Abraham.
Right.
Right? Right. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And spared not the old world, but saved Noah and the 8 persons.
Right. So, he's showing you that he didn't spare the angels of sin. And that means you got to be on your P's and Q's. If he don't spare the angels, his servants, his direct being in his presence servants, he's not going to spare you. There ain't no, I get to get away with this and I get to just sneak around.
Right.
Most High don't see me. He sees everything. He
Right.
uses those angels to watch you.
Right.
All right. And then Ezekiel 28, verse 14.
Right. This is, there's so many, like I said, I started on just, the order of the angels.
Right.
And I went through 3 hours of class on that. So brothers and sisters, if you're interested in this topic, look out for it, going a little more into depth in class on Ustream. Okay.
Right. Well, you know what? We only got 4 minutes left.
4 minutes.
If you want to get that one, the angel of the Lord encampeth around.
Right. Psalms 91. Go to Psalms, the 91st chapter.
Right.
Just like you said, on the point of, these ministering angels, you were showing the ones that give you the ass whooping.
Right.
You know what I mean? But on the other hand, what does the Most High set up for the righteous? You know what I mean? I think it's Psalms 91 and 10.
Psalms 91, verse 11.
Yeah, 10 and 11. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
Right, and we're talking about when, preferably you read the whole chapter, but we're talking about the righteous. The Most High, we're talking about the righteous in the last times, in the last days. He's going to send his messengers, these ministers, to minister to you and protect you. And that's what he's doing now. A lot of these things that are going to befall people, you run in a place, the mall, and people were shooting up, you're going to leave the mall right on time. The Most High is going to be like, you know what, you got to get out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody's going to give you a call.
Right.
You know, it's going to be.
You got to use the bathroom right now.
You're going to go right now, you know. Or you're going to be late to the mall.
Right.
Or you're going to be late to that movie theater.
Exactly.
This is what the Most High is doing. Go ahead.
For he shall give his angels charge over thee.
Right.
To keep thee in all thy ways.
Yeah, and this is where Satan was like, isn't it not said that if you cast yourself down, the angels will bear you up?
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is what the Most High is showing us, that this is known. You know what I mean? This was known from Genesis to Revelations from the Hebrews. We knew that these angels were set up for the righteous, but also to be a ass whooping to the wicked.
Right.
You know,
They're
so
protectors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to give that get that brought out just at least for that balance, because I know we went into, we got that short time, so we dealt with the negative. We dealt with the negative side. There's some of them that went off and things like that, and what the death and destruction. You know what I mean? But you got plenty of instances. If you read the Apocrypha, you got Tobit.
Yeah.
You read about plenty of instances where the angels.
Yeah, the Maccabees.
Yeah, Lot.
You go back to Kings.
Right.
You know what I mean? With Elisha. You know what I mean? There's many instances that these angels stood up and literally fought for the children of Israel, that revealed themselves.
God.
You know?
Right.
So,
and then you got that one about the angel of the Lord encampeth.
yeah, that I thought it was that one, but there's the other one is Psalms 34.
Psalm 34.
Yeah, it's the one you're talking about, Psalm 34. Read from 2 down to verse 7. We got about a minute. Go ahead.
Psalm 34, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
My spirit shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together.
Right.
I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears.
Right, and he's going back into Psalms 91. Why? Because the angels of the Most High takes care of us. Go ahead.
They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed.
Go ahead.
This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles.
Right.
The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him.
Yeah.
And delivereth them.
Right, there it is. That fear him. Right. Not ones that's like, I'm my own man, I do what I want. The ones that live on the edge and stupidity.